Gimmick Special Edition is an action platformer that has qualities from many popular franchises such as Kirby, Mario, and Mega Man. It was initially released in 1992 on the NES, but fast forward to 2023 and it was re-released with plenty of modern touches. The story follows a girl that is kidnapped by her own toys and is sent to another dimension, so it's your job to get her back. Upon booting up the first level, you're immediately greeted with vibrant colors and a fantastic soundtrack. Throughout the rest of your playthrough, you'll continue to be introduced to some amazing tunes and new enemies. The enemies in Gimmick primarily consist of these little guys that come in a variety of forms and will surely give you some fits. Now, many of the enemies are also unique to the setting of a certain level. Each level feels very different than the last in both platforming and aesthetic. You might find yourself climbing around a pirate ship, or you could be in some sort of mechanical base. What I loved about these levels was their progressing design. It's common for platformers to fall into a pattern of solely relying on a certain gimmick for a stage, but in the game Gimmick, you'll find that you'll start off in one section and then end up somewhere that looks completely different. It's a small detail, but I do think it helps immerse you better within the game. The background elements are gorgeous, and the aesthetic is always changing even within the same level. Now, there's not many stages in Gimmick, but each one offers plenty of variety between the enemies, platforming, and design. And just like most platformers from the 90s, this is an incredibly difficult game. However, you don't need to be alarmed because this updated version comes with a quick save and a rewind feature allowing you to make the game as difficult as you want it to be. Personally, I think the rewind feature can make things a bit too easy, so I found the best approach to be creating quick saves where you think a checkpoint would be. This is a life-based game, and therefore you will have to restart from the beginning of that level. For those of you who think you're good enough, then you can play the game how it was intended to be played, where you can unlock achievements along the way as well as partake in competitive leaderboards. I definitely wasn't good enough to beat the game this way, but if you think you are, then you're in for plenty of playtime. Now, even though I love the general atmosphere of Gimmick, I think the best quality about it is the gameplay. Like most platformers, it's pretty straightforward. You have to get from point A to point B where you can find a boss at the end. But Gimmick honestly is very unique here, and I don't think I've ever played anything quite like it. For some perspective, it's not as fast as Mario, and there's also much more emphasis on combat, but not as much as say Mega Man. It's a perfect balance between the two. You can charge a star in your head, which can be used to attack enemies, but because you can only fire it at one angle, having the right aim and timing is key. Along the way, you can pick up alternate weapons such as bombs which fire slower but have a much bigger blast radius. Enemies are always looking for ways to disrupt some tight platforming sequences, which honestly can become frustrating, but the fun is figuring out the best solution to navigate this. You also don't need to worry about the sliding that comes with many platforming titles from the 80s and 90s. Gimmick plays very smoothly. And no level plays the same either. You'll find completely different platforming gimmicks that you have to master. For example, in this section, you have to avoid rolling off the edge while also evading enemies and bombs, but you will not find another section in the game that plays like this. So you're never just getting better at the same thing, but you rather reset at every level and have to find the best approach to it. Because enemies are abundant in Gimmick, they are sure to take plenty of health from you, so you want to keep an eye out for in-game health pickups, which you'll definitely be needing for the bosses. The bosses in Gimmick all come with their own designs and attack patterns, and yes, they are very difficult. These bosses are the primary reason I began using the quick save feature because it can take some time to figure out their attacks. Some of them are fought at a decline, and most of them have certain weak points for you to hit, and because you can't actually aim your projectiles, it's all about finding the right angle. One of my personal favorites was the boss from the pirate level. I loved the setting of this fight, and I honestly just could not figure out the correct way to approach it, so I spent most of my time jumping around just hoping to land a hit. Because all these bosses can be difficult, like I said, it's vital to go in with a filled health bar. Gimmick is a game that will keep you on the edge of your seat due to its intense platforming. The only flaw I can really pick out is its difficulty, but because of the special edition's modern features, this isn't a worry. So if you're looking for a game with wonderfully designed stages, some unique platforming gameplay, and some difficult boss fights, then Gimmick Special Edition may be something you're looking for. I'm a little late to this review because of some laptop issues, but this game is truly a blend of some of the most popular IPs, and it manages to be its own unique experience that I for one would like to see more of. Let me know in the comments below if you think this could be a game for you, and if you're new to my channel, then please do consider subscribing for plenty of similar content. So, until next time.